Hello and welcome back to the What is K-pop podcast, where I, Sophie, your host, talk about anything to do with K-pop, about their groups, about the particular members, their discographies, the companies, and anything and everything in between that. And actually, today is a more interesting episode, or at least like a more less group heavy in particular episode, all about idols with famous relatives, or idols who have children, idols who are twins, anything to do basically about family. And now today's episode is going up on Wednesday the 6th, I believe, of March, and I'm actually filming this the day before because I have time and I want to talk about it, and it saves me worrying about the possibility of that I've inherited migraines from my parents, and I'm stressed about that. Yeah. Don't worry, I'm not going to talk about like my health issues that much. I might talk about them on Sunday's episode, because I go to the doctor's on Friday, and I'm going to be recording these like before the episode's meant to go up, because well, I don't have to do them every day anymore, so I'm just going to do them whenever I want to do them in the time before they're meant to be up. However, of course, if an episode isn't going to go up, then I'll explain why in the next one. But yeah, I mean, I'll try, and if it doesn't work out, then I'm sorry, but you know, such is the way of life with me at the moment. So to crack on with today's episode, we are going to be talking about brothers and sisters. So like an idol who has a fellow idol sibling, or a fellow like person in the entertainment industry. So apparently Sungwoo from Victon, and formerly from X1, Han Sungwoo, he is the brother of Han Sunhwa from Secret, the K-pop group Secret, and she's also an actress. This list is coming from the K-pop subreddit, from user at Casual Carleen from about a year ago. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, if you wanna get that one up and have a look whilst I'm reading it, feel free to tag along. I don't know how old in between them two are, but I guess because it's like afterwards, maybe someone's older. Next we have Moonbin and Moonsua. Moonbin is from Astro and Sua is from Billy. Moonbin was born in January 1998 and Sua was born sometime in 1999. I should know this because, well, obviously I've been researching about all of these groups, and Billy, that's the group she's in. Sua was a part of the Future 2NE1 from YG, which eventually, like the idea then became Blackpink. So I should know how old she is, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah. So I do apologize about that. Then we have one. I'm just like picking out ones that I particularly know about, so I can just talk about them. Then we have the MKMU siblings. So Lee Soo-hyun and Lee Chan-hyuk. They are. I've got another list actually that do talk about. No, I don't want to look at that ad right now. It's an ad about beaches, like and I don't want to learn about them. MKMU, they are 3 years apart in age. Chanhyuk is the older sibling by 3 years, so he actually just did his military service, and I guess they're going to come back at some point. To be fair, I don't really listen to their music, so I don't know. Then we have Crystal from FX and Jessica Jung. Crystal is the younger sibling, and Jessica is the older one. Jessica was a part of Girls' Generation for 7 years before she, well, I mean, it's not exactly proved by SM, so I can't really say, but she left the group in 2014, so she's nearly been not part of Girls' Generation for 10 years. Hyunin Kai, Hyunin Bahie, and Leah, they're all siblings. So Bahie is the youngest. She was born in July of 2004. Hyunin Kai was born in August 2002, and Leah was born in January 2000. I'm just saying this off the top of my head now, actually, these particular ones. Leah got into the industry first with being a dancer, a singer, and the youngest, actually, of a group called Viva. And I don't believe that they had much in the way of any success, unfortunately. However, she is now an influencer. Hyunin Kai is the maknae of TXT, he's the youngest, and Bahie is one of the younger members of Kepler. Obviously, when Kepler does disband, they are on track to disband in July of this year. She might perhaps be the maknae of her group, so that makes all 3 of the siblings the youngest of their respective groups. But yeah, I mean, it would be quite interesting, actually, kind of having that dynamic in their family. I wonder how much the siblings get along, because of the fact that Leah must have had to have left when Bahie, I don't know when Viva debuted, actually. Let's have a look. Let's do some live research right now on the What is K-Pop podcast. Let's have a look. Let's see. Oh, so they debuted in 2017. We're on the K-Pop wiki. Viva was a 4-member girl group under Shine, E, and M. Go away, ads. We don't. No. We don't want them. I hate getting ads. I genuinely despise it. But anyway, Viva debuted with their single Viva on the 13th of October 2017, and then they made their last appearance on the 15th of March 2019, and then all the members left the agency, and obviously they would have disbanded. Don't do that, Petal. She's trying to do something naughty. Yeah, no, they only had a digital single. So unfortunately that I can't speak on their talents, unfortunately, just because there isn't much in the way to say. But the oldest member of Viva, Guy Young, was born in 1991. Leah was born in 2000, so they were 9 years apart. And again, I've said it on a couple of different episodes, actually, of the the dynamics between the members of what do you talk about when you're so many years apart. But I guess it's sort of how you talk to your parents, maybe, of that you just talk to them. We also have J-Hope and Jiwoo, so young Hoseok and young Jiwoo. And I'm pretty sure Jiwoo is the one of the only like siblings of a BTS member who like directly really kind of talks about being a sibling of a BTS member. You can leave if you want to, Petal. And is like in the public eye, because we actually don't know much about Taehyung or V's siblings. Which, I mean, to be fair, I understand. I mean, it's obviously not easy to kind of be the sibling of a famous person, especially not like a freaking really famous idol like Taehyung from BTS. So I do kind of understand that perspective of it. Also, like, I'm pretty sure Taehyung is the oldest, so he's like 28, and maybe they're about my age. So I'm 20, so maybe they don't want to be famous. I don't know. Sungkwan from 17 actually has 3 sisters, I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering that one correctly. Again, we just gonna research Sungkwan. My search history must be extremely strange at this point, because obviously I'm like, I do research. Oh, there's a parcel. Excuse me. I do apologise for that. My dad said to me, Sophie, like, when we're out, you might have to like take in a few parcels, and I genuinely did not think that I was going to have to actually answer the door. So we're gonna just ignore that, and ignore the fact that I got really scared when that happened, because I genuinely thought that I don't know what I thought. I don't know what I thought was gonna happen when I answered the door just then. But the man just put it into the door for me. So, because I was holding Petal, because she decided that she wanted to like stick around and like not go somewhere, so she couldn't like escape. So I had to like pick her up, but then she squirmed and like jumped out my hands. So I was like, oh no, this is not good at all. No. So I had to like hold her whilst I answered the door, and the dude was probably like, oh, she has a cat. I'm like, yes, I do. I in fact have 2. Because we just can't accept the fact that we love cats. The funny story is, just before we get on back onto the thingy, is that actually it was my dad's 65th birthday last year. So my mum comes to me, and his birthday is after Christmas. So she comes to me and she's like, you know, Sophie, I really think we should get your dad a cat. And I was like, okay. I mean, we've been talking about it for years. We'd even like said something about it when he turned 16, but we never really went through with it. And well, we were talking about it, and we were sat in like our local home base's car park. Like it's sort of like a DIY shop. We have quite a few of those sorts of shops in the UK for some reason. And so we phoned up this place that we knew like had rescue cats for adoption. And so we were like, oh, like, do you have any cats, and are they like litter trained? And what my mum said is that, like, do they understand the concept of going to a tray and like doing their business in it? Like, do they get that, so then we don't have to like clean up every 5 seconds, because they're like stressed out, and stress going to the toilet and all that. And the person said to us, you can't litter train a cat. And I'm like, that is not what we asked you. Like, we just wanted to know if they knew to do their business in a litter tray, like how you potty train your kids. And so we ended up finding another place that does it like specifically for the part of England that we live in. And so we adopted Jelly from them just before my dad's birthday, and we were like, there you go, you can have him now, because the original plan was actually that we were gonna like keep him there, pay them for the board and the fees to like house Jelly, collect him on my dad's birthday, and just like put him in my dad's lap. But like the place that housed the cats, it wasn't like it was the type of place where it's like a boarding place for pets when you go on holiday, and like you might not be able to take your pets to holiday place. We took our rabbits there, so that's why we knew the people who worked there. And like they have dogs a lot there. Like it might be like I don't know, like a person goes on like an extended business trip, or they go on holiday to a place that doesn't allow dogs or anything. Like it's a perfectly fine situation. It's like totally understandable. It's not like they leave them there for forever and stuff. But there was so many barking dogs because obviously they're like wanting their owner, and the people didn't really do much to kind of stop it, because it's like, well, what's the point? They're just gonna want their owners even more and more. It's just like an automatic thing for pets sometimes. And also it's like if one dog does it, other dogs do it because they're like, oh no, like where's my owner and stuff. And anyway, off track. We adopted Jelly. We brought him home like 10 days before my dad's birthday, and we've had him well over a year now. And my dad was scrolling through Facebook, Facebook, and my mum follows a lot of her work friends on there. And one of my mum's work friends, obviously, she has cats, and she's not like an animal breeder or anything. Like she's not one of those types of people, but she had gotten her cat snipped yet, and then found out that her cat was pregnant, and so was like, okay, yeah, no, that's fine. It was her daughter's cat, really. And so she was like, oh, we'll ask around work to see like, oh, does anyone want to adopt a cat? And it gotten down to the last couple of cats. She posted a picture of the youngest and the smallest cat to Facebook and was like, hi, like this cat is still available, you message me if you want to adopt her. And so we were instantly like, my dad saw it, and he showed my mum, and I came round to see, and we were all like, oh my gosh, she's so cute, like she's adorable. But the thing is that this post had been up for a day, so my mum was worried that our cat, like who would eventually become Petal, had already been like reserved or like adopted, and like her friend hadn't taken it down off of Facebook yet. So my mum was like texting, like really, really quickly texting before she went to work, like, hey, is this cat still available? Like we can adopt her like really super duper soon. And this was on Sunday actually, and on the Tuesday we brought Petal home. Like my parents went to this like hotel near to where this person lives, and like it seems now that I'm saying it like it was really, really shady, but basically like we adopted Petal, we brought home, and like Jelly absolutely hated her to begin with and was like super duper growly and just like absolutely despised her. But they've grown to love each other. Anyway, completely off topic of what we're actually here to talk about. We're here to talk about K-pop siblings. But yeah, I mean that's an interesting story for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, so Chan, actually, from Stray Kids, he has two siblings. He has a sister called Hannah and a brother called Lucas. I mentioned them on the Stray Kids episode a few days ago. And Lucas isn't in. It doesn't get involved in the whole like K-pop thing, or even in like what do you call it, like influence content creation. Like, he's not in that sort of realm, which is fair enough. However, Hannah is not only a content creator, but she's actually a soloist now. She released a song under her own company, I guess. And I've not listened to it, but like her covers are actually pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, so in the brothers category, going a little bit further down, we have Rocky and his brother Park Jonghyun from Hwa. Yes, so Rocky's brother, he debuted January last year and is going to make a comeback soon with his group. We've got nothing really to say about that sort of stuff, because I don't actually really listen to Astro or Hua, whatever you want to call it, that much. I actually before, obviously, I did listen to Dear My Universe, I think that song's called, when I first got into K-pop, and then early last year I actually went through the whole discography and listened to it, and I don't listen to it too much. Like, I listen to a couple of their songs, but like, I would almost say their music is too happy. Like, I wanna be sad when listening to songs. I wanna feel sad, or like I wanna feel angry. That's like my kind of like favorite sort of songs. It sounds really weird, and it is really weird actually. It's both. It's so strange. But yeah, no, they are brothers. Yeah, and Zico from Block B and Taewoon from Coed School and Speed, and is now a soloist, are also brothers. Bae Jin Young and Bae Seo Chan are brothers. Bae Jin Young is from CIX and formerly of 1 and 1, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's 1 and 1 or X1. We are going to do another bit of research on here. CIX. I do actually listen to CIX occasionally. I am aware of who they are. Yes, Bae Jin Young was a member of 101. And actually, on the topic of Bae Jin Young, he actually apparently, I'm not saying anything of that, but some people actually thought that he was being bullied by his fellow members of CIX, and you know, I'm like, why do you think that? Give us some evidence, give us some good evidence. But I mean, we don't know. That's enough on that topic. Crayon Pop had twin members actually. Quick side note, another tangent. I actually have a few two sets of twins in my family, kind of. So my mother's older brother, so it's my aunt, my uncle, my mum, and then my other uncle. The older uncle was actually a twin, but you know, back in the 60s, obviously, like healthcare isn't like it is today. And actually, it's pretty common actually in the first kind of weeks of like development, that even if like twins do get formed, you know, the other twin can actually be absorbed by the first twin. It's pretty common. It's a weird sciencey thing actually. But yeah, no, that's a fact for you. I actually also have another set of twins. It was from my other uncle. His wife had twins. His second wife had twins. So they are, so actually the genetic line between the whole twin thing actually comes from the mother. So if so my nan had twins, obviously one wasn't viable, made my uncle. She might have actually given the genetics to have twins to her children, gave it to us. It might actually have skipped a generation, so any of us cousins could have twins. I could have twins, my sister could have twins. More than likely my older uncle's kids could have twins, but any one of us could have two children, but we don't know. Genetics, we gotta love it. Anyway, back to Crayon Pop, because that is actually what we are here to talk about. We're here to talk about K-pop idols, not the genetic makeup that makes up my family or the weird stories of my cats. Choa and Wei were both born on the 12th of July 1990. Yeah, to be fair, I don't know too much about them. It's just information. It's information. Next up is Youngmin and Kwangmin from Boyfriend or BF. They were born on the 24th of April 1995. And they are, I think, there's different types of twins. Let me give you a quick history lesson on twins, actually. Well, not history lesson. Not fucking history lesson. I don't know about the history of twins. Basically, there are different types of twins. Different types of twins. I love how the first search comes up as different types of pasta. I love that. I love pasta if you would like to know that. Types of twins. Healthline. Healthline is an American healthcare site, which I get a lot of my information for making stories. We're not going to get into that one. The genetic material called chromosomes in both babies are completely identical. I actually knew two sets of twins in my school times. One was a boy and a girl. Actually, no, both sets were boys and girls. The twins from my uncles are identical boys. I don't know the difference. I have known them their entire life, obviously. They are now, I think, 13 or 14, maybe even 15, and I still don't know the difference. But yeah, so fraternal twins refers to two embryos, basically, or two eggs, or whatever you wanted to call it. Basically, this is how do I say this without it being weird? Basically, two fetuses grow in the woman, and it does actually end up being that they don't always look alike, and they can be different sexes when they are born. Most commonly, actually, there was a set of twins. One was white with ginger hair, and the other was brown with brown hair. I don't know what the correct term is. I'm sorry. I'm awkward. But yeah, the other type is let's try and get this sentence out. Fraternal twins are basically non-identical twins. or fraternal twins. Identical twins are... Isn't there a name for it? No. Okay, so basically the egg divides into two, and they basically then go off to make two babies. Often these are quite identical, extremely identical, but there might just be slight changes in, like, perhaps like bits of their eyes. They might have different colours. Or, you know, allergies. Allergies are a thing that do often change. If you want to know, like, if you want to see, I know, if Brooklyn and Bailey, they are a pair of twins on YouTube, and they often do like twin swaps. However, they are quite different in, like I said, allergies. Somewhat in the way that they look, but yeah, I mean, obviously there isn't going to be like exactly identical. There is a third type that is kind of, oh yes, also it's how Siamese twins, is that the correct term? Conjoined twins. Conjoined twins. You can tell how much I don't talk about, or I don't like, don't think about this too much. Yeah, it is still referred to as Siamese twins. Good, because I was worried just then. Yeah, honestly, like that sort of stuff. It can like with conjoined twins, they can be conjoined in any place. So on the head, on the hip, it's why often you kind of heard the term of like, oh, you're joined at the hip. You're basically like conjoined twins. That's a common kind of way. Or, you know, they can be conjoined at like the rib cage, or, you know, it's any sort of body part you can be conjoined at, and often they do end up sharing like vital organs, but sometimes they can be separated so that they can kind of, I don't know, sometimes doctors feel that they can survive by themselves. So that kind of process takes place, but obviously not all conjoined twins do have to be separated. Yeah, that is an interesting piece of information for you, and I hope that you go home and you appreciate that. Oh my god, I feel so sorry for anyone who's listening to this, because they're probably so confused about what it is that I'm actually talking about. Anyway, we are going to just carry on. Also, just as a side note, not all idols who have siblings are actually in the public eye. We have quite a lot of instances of, like, particularly in 80s, who is a group I will be talking about at some stage, because a lot of the members do have siblings, but, you know, it's much the same with like me and my sister. We don't have the same interest, even though we've come from the same parents. Like, I'm very much like, take history for example. She's into ancient history, but I'm into Victorian history, Victorian England history, obviously. So there is obviously that difference there. Twins on like the on still on Reddit thingy, twins. So JYJ's Kim Jun-soo, and his twin is Kim Moo Young. Let's have a look to see. Yes, so they're twin boys. They are twin boys, or twin men actually, born in 1987, making them currently 36 or perhaps 37 years old. And then we have obviously Kwangmin and Youngmin from Boyfriend. Youngbin and Youngjin from MVP. They were both in the same group. Did I talk about? No, I did not. Then we have Zion and Dongmyeon from One of Some One We. Zion is Son, Dongju, and Dongmyeon is from One We. Dongmyeon was on Produce Produce 101 Season 2. Oh my god, my brain is like, oh god. I feel like I'm worrying myself into like being forgetful. Anyway, moving on. We don't want to talk about our health issues right now. Then we have Kang Min-sun and Kang Min-jung from Twin Girls. I guess that is a group just about them being twins, which is fair enough. Then we have yeah, no, those are the only ones that I can really tell you anything about. I have listened to both One of Some One We. To be fair, again, not all groups I actually like their music, which is fine. You know, you're not required to like everything that you see, unfortunately. So yeah, I mean, such is the way of life. Let's get on with the father and daughter side of it, or the father and son. We're just going to do both of them. Anton from Rise is actually the son of a famous producer. We have to research again, and it's actually quite interesting because Anton kind of got into a mini controversy in which he didn't bow to his dad. I'm like, he doesn't need to, or maybe he does, but not really. He is the son of Yoon Sang and Shim Hae-jin. And he is the youngest, or the maknae, of Rise. He is actually younger than me, only by, let's see, how much younger is he? Oh yes, so about 6 months. He was born on, just move up please, on the 21st of March 2004, and has a younger brother born in 2009. A lot of people were kind of not exactly pleased at the idea of him being a part of Rise because of nepotism that might come with being Yoon Sang's son. However, nepotism is a thing in every industry, actually. If you think about it, a lot of actresses or actors are nepotism, several generations nepotism children, or fathers, or like you know what I mean. Like Maya Hawke, she's a nepotism baby. So you know, it's not uncommon. But like, I mean, again, these people are talented, and I'm like, just let them be. Anton is very, very talented, and he deserves his place in the music industry because he was a swimmer, but due to the pandemic, he was unable to do that anymore. Like, he would have probably gone on to do the Olympics, but then he decided to become a trainee with SM and become a part of the same industry as his parents, which is a fair enough type of situation. You know, you did what you wanted to do, and now you're doing what you want to do as well, but in a different industry. My hair is just attacking me today. Okay, so Stacey Seon is the daughter of Park Namjung. He is a soloist. John Somi is the daughter of Matthew Doma. Okay, I didn't know that. That's always interesting. And Junghyun from Twice is the daughter of Gong Seungyeon and Yoo Changjun. Seungyeon is an actress, and Changjun is a celebrity chef, apparently. Jungyoon is actually also related to who is she related to? Because I remember she is related. Oh yeah, she's related to a member of Card, like distantly related to. And I remember reading about this and I was like, this is a very, very odd like relation to kind of say about, but relatives. Nope, she doesn't. Don't want to tell me. Oh, of course, I've also got to let my parents back in. Okay, so sorry about that again. My parents then decided they wanted to come home. So Jungyeon is a distant relative of Card's John So-min. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you know, next up is I also whilst we were gone, I was gone, I had my lunch. Me and my family decided which where we would like to go on holiday this year, and yeah, pretty much that's all I did and stuff. Yeah, just in case you wanted to know that. Bang Yi-dam from Treasure is the son of Bang Dae-sik, who is a singer. Yeah, that's always interesting. Yeah. And Kim Chae-won from Le Seraphim, she is the daughter of Lee Ran-hee, who is a theatre actress. Yeah. Very sorry about all of that. 11. Oh yeah, fair enough. What else is there to say? Oh yeah, Jackson Wang, he is the son of famous Olympic gymnast. Jackson was going to go to the London 2012 Olympics with fencing. However, he then decided to move to South Korea and become a trainee, much to the, I'm sure, much to the annoyance of his family. I would fully understand that. However, we don't. Well, we care about like each other's like things that we're doing, but like I mean, if my mum came down and was like, I don't want to be in whatever, like I don't want to do what I do now, I want to do something completely different, we'd all be like, okay, you're in like your 50s though, so I don't know like if you're gonna be able to do it for that much of like she's like she would be able to have like 11 years in a new career if she did it, but like she'd have to like retrain and all that good stuff, but you can still do that, but with like just like the typical retirement age in England is normally 65. Yeah, so there obviously are idols who also have siblings, like I said, who are not in the industry. There are quite a number of only children. The ones that I can list off the top of my head is, like right now, is Joshua from 17. He is an only child. I'm pretty saying that he might not actually be. I love how I go Mrs. Doughty Pants whenever I'm like talking about something. We're gonna do some research. Oh god, I love how I just am not even professional enough to like, you know, keep it 100, keep it professional, Sophie. Come on, you've been doing this for like nearly 2 weeks. Like, come on. let's just run through the groups that we've already done, so mainly height groups. Sung Chol he is the younger sibling. His brother's called Sungmin. He was born in 93, so 2 years older. Jonghan has an younger sister, even. He was born in 1999. Joshua is an only child. Thank God. Jun, he has a younger brother called Yang Yang, who was born in 2006. Who he is? Oh, he has one sibling. He's who is a year older than him. He was born in 1995. Wonwoo has a brother. Woozi has is an only child. DK has an older sister who's 3 years older than him in 1993. Mingyu has a younger sister, born in 2001. T8 is an only child and is the third and final member as an only child. Sungkwan has 2 siblings, born in 1989 and 1993, respectively. Jin Sol, his oldest sister, is active on Instagram. Vernon has a younger sister who was born in 2004, and Dino has a younger brother, who is 2 years younger than him. So 2001, either called Gyeon or Jungyeon, and nothing else is known about him. As for the TXT members, obviously Kai has 2 sisters. He is the middle child. So I wonder actually, because I always I'm curious about the different family dynamics, because as you know, I have a sister, and I'm the youngest sister, so I've always known what it's like to be to have a sister. So I wonder if anyone who is listening to this, if you are an only child, please do tell me what it's like. I feel like it would be quite lonely. I don't know why, but I feel like it would be lonely. And for anyone who is a middle child, perhaps, how is that like? Or a younger, an older sibling, what is that like? Does it sort of feel like you have to parent your younger siblings? Because I know my sister did. She definitely did. A lot when we were younger, actually, because my mum was quite ill, so she had to kind of look after us quite a lot. Just me. And it's always kind of felt like I've had 3 parents, even though, my parents have kind of always tried to be like, Bexy, you don't have to. But no, that is the placeholder name, actually. What am I saying? Bexy, you don't have to parent Sophie, you're good, you don't have to do it, but she does anyway. We were talking on the phone last night about what sort of gift to give her for her graduation, and she was like, no, literally to all of the gifts. And then she found out that I hate stickle bricks. Stickle bricks are this weird toy thing where you it has a lot of plastic spike thingies, but not really spikes, that you can connect up together, and it makes structures. And it's I don't hate them, but I also don't like them, because it's creepy interconnecting-y thingies. I don't like stickle bricks, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah. No, we're talking about siblings, not about my fear of stickle bricks. Yeonjun is the only child from TXT. However, he is the oldest member, so he has 4 younger brothers, technically. 4 younger brothers that he didn't really particularly want. But to be fair, would any of us choose our siblings? No, to be honest. Sorry, my sister. Sorry, Bexy, if you're listening to this. But I'm sure you wouldn't choose me in a lineup of sisters as well. But it's like that whole thing of like sisters by chance, friends by choice, and I'm like, yeah, sure, me and my sister are friends, but we have our own lives, is what I'm trying to get out. Is that like we all have our own lives, siblings particularly. Like, I always feel like you kind of think that like siblings are going to be super duper close, and it's like, yeah, I mean, we are, don't get me wrong, we are, but like neither of us really talk about each other much. Like, even like, yeah, my parents talk about me and my sister like when they're out and stuff, and they talk about me particularly more to like their friends and stuff at work to like try and get some advice or anything. But to be honest, like, we all kind of just coexist in the house and we don't talk about each other like that much, to the point where you're just like, yeah, kind of just like chill out with the whole sibling little family talk even. But yeah, moving on to Subin on TXT. He has 2 siblings apparently, an older brother and an older sister. His brother is 6 years older than him and his sister is 10 years older, which is a relatively big age gap, yeah. Because at least me and my sister could relate on like things, and like talk about, we did GCSEs, obviously, and like it's starting to change a little bit with like T levels, I think. I don't know, I'm not involved in it, but we have different grade systems, so we have similarities enough that we can still talk about like school and stuff. Like, I could still get her help on some school stuff, but yeah, that is an interesting little tidbit of information. I really need to stop rambling about my life because to be fair, it is not that interesting. Bonju, he has 1 sibling who is an older brother. However, we do not know much about him, which is again pretty normal. I do tell my sister obviously when I talk about. I have mentioned how much older she is from me, but yeah, she doesn't want me to, so I'm not going to talk about her. Obviously, if she ever wants to join in on the podcast, she can do. But yeah, no. Taehyun is the next member. He has an older sister who is 4 years older than him, and she recently got married last year, and I love that for her. Honest to God, that is very, very sweet. And apparently, Taehyun and Hyunin Kai actually sang a song at her wedding. And then obviously we have Hyunin Kai, 2 sisters. Yeah, fun. Would be quite. I know how I'm like looking at like a piece of information. Apparently, Leo's a fan of Stray Kids and BTS. Would be quite funny if she actually hated TXT. That would be quite a funny little thing. And apparently she is at Induk University. I have no idea where that is. Yeah, so that is some pieces of information. I'm just gonna now just talk generally about like siblings and all of that jazz. So if you don't want to listen to my opinion on families and that sort of families in the industry, I mean family, that sort of stuff, then feel free to skip the rest of this. I don't mind. I will see you again on Friday. But for anyone who wants to stay and listen, feel free. So I mean, I do understand kind of the aspect of wanting to kind of have a sibling in the industry because, you know, I'm the only one in the family who does social media, or at least does social media in this sense. Like, how old was I? It was 2016 when I turned 13, so Instagram was very much a big thing, and I got one. And it wasn't because I wanted to have one, it was because of the fact that all of my other classmates had gotten one at that point. And were like, "Oh, Sophie, are you gonna make an Instagram?" So I was like, "All right, then I'll make an Instagram." And I never like, to be honest, I was not liked in school at all. I was actually very heavily bullied, and so when it came to me having social media, I barely had any followers because no one wanted to follow me because then it might seem as though they like me and stuff like that. So kind of that aspect of having social media was definitely like a hard thing because it kind of cemented, to me at least, that people do genuinely, actually, honest to God, undeniably, every single synonym of anything hate me, and kind of like getting to grip, like understanding that is a hard thing for literally anyone to understand, but understanding it as a kid, wow, that was a thing that I really did not. It took me a while to kind of come to terms with all of that, and you know, I couldn't kind of go to, especially like even my sister, because she doesn't understand about social media because she isn't the type to get influenced, by all of that stuff. Oh my god, my parents deleted what I was watching earlier on the last night on the TV. I forgot to, to be fair, I understand because I was watching something that's not exactly the most appropriate show. I was watching Chucky, the live, like the TV show version of the Child's Play series, and yeah. But like, I feel like if my sister, or at least like someone at least in my family, was also doing social media in the way that I do it, I'd be able to kind of talk to them a little bit more and have more of like, uh, a bit, I don't know, like have someone to talk to about all of this because, you know, a couple of my cousins do social media as well. They have social media, but you know, it's like a couple of them are like in their teens, and I'm out of my teens, and a few of them are in their 30s, and I don't like, none of my other relatives are my age and also do what I do on social media, and kind of, even on here, trying to build up a following of like, I had a different like icon for my podcast. I didn't do terribly long episodes to start off with, and now I just kind of blather on, and like, I feel like having a sibling who at least is cognizant of like your media is probably good because one of the members of AB6, he has a twin brother, but his twin doesn't like the spotlight. But the chances are he probably is cognizantly aware of like his brother's influence, or at least to an extent. And like the one we run us twins, Dongju and Zion, no, Dongmyeon and Zion, Dongju and Dongmyeon, they at least are in the same industry, so they actually understand what it's like, and having that kind of ability to just kind of go to someone who not only understands but is also related to you, so they understand kind of, you know, what's going on inside your head probably. I feel like it would be a lot easier to at least do this, because I'm not posting out into the void, you know. I'm actually, you know, this is for anyone to see. And like TikTok, I mean, like it took kind of a little bit to kind of get noticed, at least in the autism community. But like it'll just be the odd creepy comment that I'm like, I would love to talk to someone about this. And you know, I mention it to like my parents and stuff, and they're instantly like, block 'em, Sophie. And like sometimes they'll be like, I'm not sure if you should really be doing this, Sophie. And I'm like, but you're the one that suggested that I make a TikTok all about being autistic, so what do I do now? But I love my parents, don't get me wrong. They are very, very supportive with everything that I do. And almost too supportive, actually. They're always just like, try it. Just give it a try. Like this, especially, because they were like, oh, yeah, no, you should. I'm really proud that you're doing a podcast. And I'm like, yay, but you don't know what I'm talking about. And they're like, no, not at all. We don't know in the slightest. It's like how I talk to them about K-pop, how they talk to me about like ABBA, Led Zeppelin, Queen, Duran Duran a little bit, and like very like basically like 1960s, 70s, even 80s to some extent, like bands and stuff. I get a lot of those sorts of conversations, and particularly from my dad, Michael Jordan, like the basketball star. Oh my god. I'm like, I don't I watched The Last Dance, the documentary series that they made all about Michael Jordan's like last season with the Chicago Bulls, and I watched it, and I have no idea what on earth I watched. Like I tried, I really tried to understand it. And the only parts that I really understood were like when people outside of the context of basketball would talk about it. Because I'm like, I am so pleased I'm not the only one right now who doesn't fully understand what they're talking about. Like it's almost to a very, very cringy degree. Yeah, but to be fair, do I understand half of what I'm saying about idols? No, I do actually, but not to a massive extent. Yeah, it's kind of funny actually. Yeah. But I think to wrap up today's question of like, is families kind of good in K-pop? Yeah, I think, because at least, you know, you have someone who can relate to you and like be able to understand kind of where your head's at with things. But sometimes actually it might be good to have a bit more separation, because then you can get a completely outside perspective. And to be fair, you should just do you, and kind of, you know, if you can build up a little community of people who kind of can understand you a bit better. And yeah, just have fun with it, you know. So it's what we're all here to do, is just have fun, and don't be too hard on yourself if, you know, things don't go swimmingly and your relatives don't understand, because, you know, that's life. We're not meant to understand each other fully. But yeah, that has been today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again in a few days' time. Bye.